What's up, geeks? This is Fit Geek Training, where we talk about your fitness and all the things that you geek out about. The biggest movie of the weekend? Black Panther. It came out yesterday. I saw it, and I'm going to talk to you about it. Stick around. What's up, geeks? I'm John Sargent, and this is Fit Geek Training. Alright, we're going to review Black Panther today. I'll tell you up front, I loved it. I've got a lot to say about this one. I have been going through and I'm reviewing all of the MCU movies, and I'm ranking each one. I don't want to rank this one just yet because of recency bias, so I'm going to give you a general ranking, and then when I get done with the MCU movies, I'll do a full ranking episode of each and every one of them, all 18, before Infinity War happens. If you want to see the other reviews, you can check those out here. I'm also doing workouts for each one of these movies. Not going to do one for this one because it's a little bit sudden, but all 17 of the other ones, I'm going to give you a workout for those, and you can see those here also. Alright, let's get into this movie and let's talk about the cast. One of the best things about this movie is the cast. I don't want to get people's names wrong, so I'm going to kind of fly through this one. I'm not confident in the pronunciation of almost anybody's name in this movie. Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, as the Black Panther, is fantastic. I think he's great. He comes across very regal, very diplomatic, very king-like. My problem is that he's overshadowed by the rest of the cast because they're so good. His general, she's great. His sister, she's great. Everyone in this movie, but the star of the movie, cast-wise, is Michael B. Jordan as the villain, as Killmonger. He's a really, really strong Marvel villain. They don't always have great villains in these Marvel movies, let's face it, but Killmonger is one of the good ones. He's right up there with Loki. He's among the best in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Michael B. Jordan is an imposing figure. I cannot say enough good things about him in this movie. The other person that kind of steals the show for me, even though it doesn't last as long as you'd like it to, is Andy Serkis as Ulysses Klaue. You guys, if you don't know who Andy Serkis is, he's probably 5 to 10 characters that you love in movies. He's Smeagol in The Lord of the Rings. He's King Kong. He's Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies. He does pretty much any kind of motion capture or voice acting in addition to being in front of the camera, acting, and this is one of the good ones for him. It's a small role, but it's an important role, and he does a really good job of being kind of a little bit out to lunch, and I want to see him in a lot more things. The plot. Alright, I'm just going to give you a synopsis of this one. I know some of you may not have seen the movie yet. Basically, it's right after Civil War. T'Challa is going back to Wakanda. He's going to take his throne. He's going to take his crown as the rightful king of Wakanda. Wakanda is one of the best parts of this movie, the place itself. It's highly technologically advanced. It looks really futuristic. They've kind of got like spaceships and holograms. Vibranium, their biggest resource, which is the metal that Captain America's shield is made out of, by the way, is kind of powering this ultra-futuristic, highly technologically advanced place. And then you blend that with the African culture and that kind of a traditional past mixed with a futuristic, technological. It's just a really great world. It feels very lived in. You really get a sense that there are the different tribes, and these people kind of dress this way and behave this way, and this other tribe over here dresses this way and behaves this way, but they all kind of coexist. It's one of the better universes or worlds that they've built in the Marvel movies, and it is absolutely visually one of the best things you're going to see on film. When T'Challa arrives, he needs to have a ceremony where he's going to take the crown, but he's got to open it up to challengers, and so he's got to fight for the crown. This is a really cool scene, really beautiful scene, and then all of a sudden things kick off. He's got foes left and right who are trying to get power in Wakanda. He's got to don the Black Panther suit, and him and his trusted allies have got to go kick some butt, make sure that World War III doesn't kick off with Wakanda at the center. Really, really good plot in this movie. The storyline, the writing is really good. And like I said before, you've got a great villain. Michael B. Jordan is an excellent villain, and the two of them pairing off is pretty entertaining. My gripes with the movie, on the other hand, are that the action scenes are very inconsistent. Some of the action scenes and the fight choreography are world-class, top-notch fight scenes. Others are kind of poor, to be honest. There's a lack of consistency with the fight scenes. Also, the effects, the computer effects, sometimes are absolutely phenomenal. You may not notice them at all, or you notice them and think that they're great. And sometimes you notice them for the wrong reasons. A lot of this movie looks like a cartoon. It's a very kind of cartoony shot here and there mixed in with some real stuff. So it kind of took me out of it a little bit. Then there's also some parts of it where it's cartoony in a different way. There's just a couple of things that are thrown in that are just sort of goofy. There's a couple of things where I just was like, I don't know if you really need to have that in there. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you have seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about. But overall, really solid movie. My ranking of it, like I said, I'm going to be kind of general with that. I put this right in the middle of the MCU movies. I like it more than like your Thor 2s and Iron Man 3s and things like that, but I don't like it as much as like Guardians or an Avengers. So I put it right about in the center of the list, somewhere in that neighborhood, kind of along like the Thor Ragnarok, in that area. Really entertaining, really good story. The villain being compelling raises this movie up quite a bit. T'Challa is really cool. He's just overshadowed by the people that surround him for most of the movie. The rundown. Every week when I review these movies, I give you a bold thought, sort of a thesis statement, the thing that I would argue if I'm talking about this movie with somebody. And for this one, my rundown is the creators, Ryan Coogler and Marvel, and the people who made this movie, they swung for the fences. They were trying to hit a home run, and they made full contact. The ball just hit the top of the wall, and they ended up getting a triple. It's a really, really good turnout by Marvel, a really fun movie. It's just not as good as the critics are telling you that it is. It is not the best Marvel movie, and it is not an all-time great movie. It is an important movie, but entertainment-wise, I would give it like a A-. It's still a really good movie, but in the Marvel universe, it lands about halfway for me. Recommendations. If you are looking for some Black Panther books, just do a simple Google search if you don't already know. There's more that are good than there are that aren't good. There's too many to recommend. So go check those out anywhere where you buy comic books. As far as a movie goes, when we did the first Captain America, I recommended the animated movie Ultimate Avengers to you. Well, Ultimate Avengers 2 is a great Black Panther story. Most of this movie takes place in Wakanda. You get all of the Avengers there. You get some really cool fight scenes, and it kind of tells a little bit of an origin story like this movie does of T'Challa taking the crown from T'Chaka after his death. Really, really cool animated movie. Alright geeks, that is my review of Black Panther. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you completely disagree with me on a few things. Maybe you thought some of the stuff I thought was goofy was great. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Also, make sure you go check out the other reviews that I've done, and I'm going to keep doing a review every week until we get to Infinity War. Alright, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of that. Also, go check out the website, fitgeektraining.com. I am a personal trainer, and I make training programs for people, and I can do that for you. Go to the Instagram, @fitgeektraining, and I will see you guys next week. Game over.